Hello, all you beautiful people, and welcome back to season two. I cannot believe I'm even saying that. Honestly, what on earth? But anyway, welcome back to season two of the Voice of Reality podcast. It feels so good to be back in front of my laptop, just yapping away to you all. And I just want to say, firstly, thank you so much to the amount of people that have reached out to tell me how this podcast has helped them in some shape or form, and to just let me know that you listen and enjoy it. It honestly means the world to me, as I adore doing it, and knowing it adds value to so many lives fills me with so much hope and positivity that maybe, just maybe, we can make a change and an impact in this toxic diet culture. And if we can help just one person, that is all we need. I always said, if I can just help a singular person, I'll be happy. So this truly is a dream of mine. Thank you always for your support and love. So, how have you all been? It's definitely been a hot minute, I know, but I did need the break more so because life's just been so busy in the background, and because really I didn't want you all to get sick of me, obviously. This week's podcast, I just want to update you all with what's been going on, as well as chatting about some hot topics and important things. There's been so many changes lately, and I feel like I just need to fill you all in on it all. So, first things first, we are diving into our let's be real topic this week. And what a strong one for the first week back, can I just say? And it's something I really wanted to chat about while it was fresh in my head and was a topic that I actually had on this week's check ins with clients. And that is of bloating. I had a client this week check in with me, and to say it was one of our strongest check ins yet was an understatement. She felt stronger in the gym, fitter, more energy, better sleep, and all around day to day life just elevating. Things were flying, and I was so happy to see we were in such a strong position together. And then we had a small issue of bloating during the week, and the client actually said to me, I'm so sad because I feel like all my hard work is gone. I was honestly in a state of shock because did anyone else just hear all those wins that I just stated? The health and fitness, the energy, the sleep, the feel good factors, all of those wins, and one small thing like feeling bloated took it all away in the blink of an eye. I see and hear this happening every single week. And I want to say to you all, fuck the bloat. We all get bloated. Hello, we are humans. But can I also just say that I don't think we exactly know what bloating is either. Some of us eat a meal, and because we are feeling full, we think we are bloated. This is false information. Being full from the meal you just ate is not bloat. Bloating is normally painful and very uncomfortable. It can be linked to food intolerance, hormones, and illnesses at that. But one thing every single one of us needs to realize is this: bloating is not body fat. I repeat, bloat is not fat. Feeling bloated does not mean you have gained weight or body fat. So please always remember this. So for my client, she felt like all her physique progress was gone, when in reality, the bloating died straight back down and she felt amazing, if not better, afterwards. It's so easy to let something as small as this to ruin your week or your journey. And people tend to throw in the towel as something as this small happens, convincing themselves it's not working or they're doing something wrong. But trust me, it is working. Bloat is normal. Feeling full after a meal is normal. Water retention is normal. But none of the above is actual body fat accumulating. Always know if you are showing up for yourself and consistently ticking your boxes, nutrition, training, activity, and you are on the right path, nothing can take your progress away from you, not even a bit of bloat. So show up for yourself. Do what's needed and block out the noise. Block out the bloating. Oh, and never neglect all of your wins because of one small, humane issue. Concentrate on the positives every week, always. So, this week, episode one, season two, I want to delve into all the life updates, physique updates, and everything in between with you all because there's definitely been a few changes. If you follow me on Instagram, Life in Gym Gear, You probably know what does be going on behind the scenes. And if you're not, do make sure to follow along, which I cannot believe I started nearly 4 years ago. This October, Life in Gym Gear is 4. This was easily the best decision I ever made. Taking that risk, starting something new, and jumping into a new project and direction of my life. But that's for a different episode altogether. But anyone out there waiting or afraid of that risk, know that it's a good thing. And being nervous or anxious doesn't mean to stop or to leave the idea or vision. It means the complete opposite. It means you want it more than you can imagine, that you want it to work. That's why you're nervous. The biggest risk is taking no risk at all. So go for it. I also turned 28 about 3 weeks ago. And I don't know, I'm just still not over this because surely I'm still 18. It is crazy to me how it's been a decade since I was 18 years old. Like, I don't know about anyone else, but it just feels like you blink from that age of literally being such a young pup and just not having a clue what's going on in life. And then next thing you're nearly 30. Like, what is going on? I remember being 18 and thinking 28 was a lifetime away or that 30 was old AF. But honestly, I take it all back because I still feel young. I'm still young. All my friends, we're all still in our prime. But when you're 18, it just feels like that is a time of life that's so far away. And surely by the time you're 28, maybe hitting 30, everything's figured out. And now that I'm here, I'm like, whoa, things go pretty damn fast. And I don't think anyone realizes that. So please appreciate time as much as you possibly can, because before we know it, we're going to be 38. We're going to be getting into our 40s. We're going to be 48, getting into our 50s. And I think this has really taught me, like, really looking back and being like, whoa, I was 18 10 years ago. It really, really taught me that, I need to appreciate time a little bit more and really value it and do what I want to do with my time and treasure it as much as possible. Honestly, I did think I would have it all figured out by the time I was 28. Maybe settled down with the mortgage, with the house, maybe even getting married or engaged. Who knows? I might even have a kid, or it would be in the works anyway, or talking about it. And, in the career path of teaching and just settled really. I remember being 13 and looking at my older sister who had a kid. She was 28, she had a house, her kid, she was married. And I remember being like, yeah, like absolutely, 28 years old. Like, why wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean? You have everything sorted out, everything figured out. Amazing. And now I'm here and I'm like, well, that didn't happen very accordingly and how I thought it would. But the reality is, life isn't always a planned step by step guide. And a lot of the time, it will reroute you, especially if you're not going down the path you should be. There is always a silver lining. So, as much as, my values might not be settling down, getting the mortgage, having the kids right now, it might be in a few years, and that is absolutely fine. But I definitely do think that when I was younger, I thought by the age of 28, I would have everything figured out. And I want you to know that that is just not what happens. And that is absolutely fine. Can I please just say? So, no one be freaking out because I'm the same. And there's a lot of us out there that are the same. I am in a very, very good place in my life, and I would not change it for the world. But it's just crazy the expectations that the world puts on you because you think you have to go down those roads and that route. Like, I didn't see any other route growing up but to, take those steps of having a stable career, a 9 to 5 job, maybe, finding a partner to spend the rest of your life with, and, then settling down and getting a mortgage and having a family. Whereas for me, that is not really in the pipeline right now. And that is fine. I'm so happy. I'm probably the happiest I've ever been. But it is just a reminder that it is okay if your values don't align with the values and expectations that the world puts on you. But there is so many other things out there and so many other paths that you can take. Just please always make sure that these goals and values are your own and no one else's. So, Queens, me and Ben, my partner, I don't know if I've ever said his name on this before, but there you go. We actually arrived in Bali 2 weeks ago. Bali is somewhere I've always wanted to go. The photos you see, the lifestyle, the food, the gyms, the people, I mean, it is dreamy. let's not lie. So we packed things up from Spain, which did hurt my heart a lot because I love you, Spain, so much. And we did it. Again, a huge risk. I had no clue if this would be what we wanted. As I said, we absolutely loved Spain. We had been there for 16 months. We had friends, a whole routine, an amazing lifestyle, but something needed itching. You know, when you just feel like you need that change. I think personally, I was getting too comfortable and something was screaming at me to just jump outside my comfort zone. And what better way to do that than to pack up your bags and move halfway across the world? Am I right? For me, getting up and going was needed. I feel with what I do and working online, working from home, it can get extremely isolating and just repetitive. I felt like I was falling into Groundhog Day. I don't go to an office or have work colleagues. I just have myself and my laptop in the same environment for 16 months. It was getting a little boring, shall we say. And I am so grateful and privileged that I even have the choice of being able to take it all up and move. I don't necessarily clock in at 9 a.m. and out at 5 p.m. every day. To me, I work 24/7. I am always switched on, which is what I love. I won't lie to anyone. Work life balance isn't a thing that I do practice a lot, but I am okay with that because I love what I do. So, this change up and move was just needed as I needed that spark of energy and life had been dwindling a little bit behind the scenes. Now, I know packing up and moving across the world is a little extreme, but a huge thing I would say to anyone feeling down or just lacking that spark is to try something new, to do something exciting and fun, and something just a little out of your comfort zone. Something you feel like you're a beginner at and you can feel foolish doing. There is nothing like stepping out of your comfort zone to truly feel alive again and to just have fun. It's a spark like no other that starts to light in you. For me, that spark was so needed again, and moving did just that. A new environment, which was very different, can I just say? Give me a second to get into all that one, please. But we had a new gym, new faces and people, and a whole new routine, new activities, and new things to try. The routine part, I have just about nailed. I am such a creature of habit and of routine in general. So I was actually super apprehensive about the move itself and changing everything up. I honestly swear I lost sleep thinking about what order my day was going to go in and what time or whatnot I'd be slotting things into place. Something so small to be worried over, but my routine means the world to me. Some people love the freedom of going with the flow, but I am queen of but what time does the flow start at? Which is strange, as I was never like this until I started my own business. Maybe it came with age, or maybe it came with the responsibility. But I used to be the one who would just arrive at an event or at the airport, not having a clue what was going on. Everything would be planned and done for me. Whereas now, I will ask 1,000 questions and want to see pictures, timelines, what's going on, and ask what time to be there and still be a half an hour early. Does anyone else feel like that? Is it age? Is it the responsibility? I don't know. It definitely does add a touch of anxiety to my life. Not being as laid back as I used to be, but look, we definitely make it work. We are also 7 hours ahead. So, I mean, I feel like I am in a bit of a different realm to people back home in Ireland. Getting used to this and constantly calculating the time in different zones and places, but I will always make sure to make it all work. For me, work and my clients will forever come first, no matter where or what I'm doing. So while we are on the topic of trying something new, I actually went and did my first Muay Thai class last week, and it was so much fun. And can I please just remind everyone that it is okay to be a beginner and to be a newbie and to be a starter, we shall say, and because I was shitting myself going in there and doing something new. Like literally, I was like, "What on earth am I doing here? Like I'm so bad at this. There's going to be people looking at me." All of the thoughts we have when we've never done something before and we're doing something new. But can I just say it was so much fun? I literally put on my big girl pants. I went in there and I just had so much fun and I just went with it and I was absolutely shit, like diabolical. And honestly, I can't stop laughing because I thought I was doing amazing, and I was, like, obviously doing everything that they were instructing, and going along with the patterns and all of this, and I did used to dance years ago for years on years, so I was able to get the patterns and kind of what was going on, but I was so slow because I just didn't have the strength and power like that they have or that Ben had, and when I was looking back on videos that I'd recorded, I couldn't stop laughing because I was like, I was convinced I was doing amazing and like I was literally giving it socks, but I looked like I was going in slow motion on the videos. I was like, surely I had that in slow mo. But no, that was just me being absolutely shockingly bad. But of course I was. Like I had never done it before. I was brand spanking new to this. Of course I was bad in some sort of way. And this is something that I always want to get across that there is things that we're all going to be beginners in. I've been in the gym for nearly a decade, 11 years now, absolutely mental. And when I first went in, I remember feeling like this. Like I will never forget the feelings of being new in the gym and how daunting it actually did feel to be in that environment. And that's exactly how I felt going into the Muay Thai class and trying something brand new again. And that's the thing. In some categories, I am very skilled and expert at that, like going to the gym, and I know a lot of knowledge in that. Still, there's always more to know, of course, but then in some categories and in some brackets, I am a brand new beginner, like going to that class. And this is the thing, there is going to be different things and elements in life that you're new at. And if you want to grow, you have to start. And that's what it all comes down to. So please never fear like being a beginner, starting something new and stepping into a new environment, especially if it is going to help you grow. And to me, doing that class really like kind of added that spark to things and excitement to things because it really was so much fun. And it was something that really kind of had me energized then for the day and something I will definitely be going back to at least once a week while over here because it was just, it made me laugh. And I'm actually excited to go back and have that fun and that element back into the week. So never be afraid to try something new. Of course, you might be bad at it 100%. And you might be looking at yourself going, what on earth am I doing? But you've never done it before. So, of course, these feelings are going to trickle in. And of course, you might not be the best at it, but you need to start in order to actually progress, to evolve, and to get better, of course. So, stop allowing the fear of something new to keep you from trying because we're all beginners at some stage. Now, let's just chat about the newness that is the environment of Bali itself. Because, I mean, I think everyone forgot to tell me about the extreme wildlife and fun things when explaining how beautiful Bali was. To say I died on the spot when I saw the first gecko is an understatement. But when I saw the next 20, it got worse for the anxiety. Oh, and not to mention the fact they actually come into the gaff and they don't care. Not an inch of fear in them. They would be in the bed with you if they could. We saw the first one in our room, and I honestly wish I had a video of us trying to get it back out again. It took about 2 hours of Ben with a sweeping brush and me with insect repellent pushing it out the door, but we did get there eventually. To only have another one back at least 2 days later. Needless to say, I haven't slept properly in the past 2 weeks since being here. So that's always a plus because I do love my sleep. I really am just a girl. And I have never been exposed to these geckos and lizards and just wildlife that is over here. So seeing them has me on extreme edge. Even though they don't actually come near you, I did fear that one morning I would wake up to have one sitting on my face, but the internet does inform me that they do avoid you at all costs. And they're amazing for getting rid of bugs. So, I mean, it's sort of a win. And to give you a top tip for anyone coming to Bali and just a girly pop like me, fearing the wildlife, I now leave garlic and chopped onions around the villa, and it does work to repel them. Because apparently they hate the smell and the strong scent of garlic and onions in itself. So when I say that out loud, I honestly feel like I sound insane. But honestly, I will do anything at this stage to sleep soundly at night again. So just as we were getting used to the Larrys and the Jerry, the geckos, plus all of their mates, just as we were getting around to the idea of them being everywhere, we see a snake. A snake. To say my heart dropped through my arse would be an understatement because I actually sat in shock for about an hour. It was in the garden area, and I thought for a second I was actually seeing things. But no, a little snake having a tour of the garden in front of my eyes. This was a deal breaker for me. and I was so ready to be on the next flight out of Bali. So, to say the least, Bali has been testing on the nervous system. As I said, I am definitely not a fan of extreme wildlife. I am constantly living on edge as to just what I might see next, strolling around the garden. I feel like I'm literally on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, which then had me thinking, how on earth do they do it and how do they sleep at night? Because I am most definitely sleeping with one eye open for the foreseeable. Other than that, it has been quite magical. The people, the places, the feels, and everything around, it is such a beautiful place. The gyms are also insane and so many to choose from. So the change up with equipment and the gym itself was so welcomed. And it's been a stunning one over here to get used to. We are currently staying in Canggu, which is a lot busier compared to other places, but it's just great for working and having a more settled routine in place for us, which I am most definitely here for. As you all probably know, I was and still am in a cutting phase. This cut itself is more of a lifestyle approach, as I knew there was so much coming up in life for me that when I was making the decision to go back into a deficit, I did decide to make it more lifestyle instead of prepped focused. The past 12 weeks, we are down over 5 kg, which is absolutely amazing considering the occasions, events, and moving about that's been brought in and going on. Having said that, I know if I was a little bit stricter, or if I did bring my calories down more or my cardio up more, I would have lost a lot more than this. But honestly, I'm delighted with my current physique. And let me tell you why. Because I took a slower approach with this actual cut, I can see I'm holding onto my shape and muscles so much better. It's so nice to see my shape really come more to life, but also not lose my fucking glutes in the meantime, which has happened to me a few times, and I refuse to let it happen again. I can see definition come through, and I am patient with seeing results, as this was the decision I made at the start and the timeline I gave myself. The main difference between a lifestyle approach and, let's say, a prep or physique approach is time. Maybe you have a holiday coming up you want to prep for, a wedding, or even a photo shoot. In these cases, things might have to be stricter or more intense. But if you have the time and you are willing to be patient, the lifestyle effect is key. This then also means if an occasion does creep up in the meantime, you're in a prime position to take things up a slight notch instead of jumping headfirst into it and maybe hating it. It's so important to create a lifestyle and habits before anything else. Building a lifestyle, a routine you actually enjoy, is so important, and I will legit scream it from the rooftops. I have been doing these things for nearly 6 years now. So for me, I could take any approach, and it wouldn't really be detrimental to my mindset or training, as I've already a solid base and lifestyle created. So if I was to go more intense or more extreme, I'd be fine with that. But going straight into a prep or a strict diet for X amount of time when you have just begun can be number one, hell on your body and not very beneficial in the long run. Number two, hell to your mindset and how you actually view your journey. And number three, it lacks any sort of lifelong approach. So, what happens when you actually get to that goal? Do you know what to do then? Probably not. So, give yourself time, no matter what the goal is. I plan to continue cutting for another 2 months, like this, in that lifestyle approach, and then maybe entering a small prep before the end of the year and going a little bit more hardcore, which I'm always excited about a challenge. This is always welcomed. So, here's some things I implemented when starting to come into my deficit. Nothing extreme, but it did get me up and running. Number one, of course, I tracked my food to make sure I'm actually in the deficit I wanted to be in. I understand people might be yawning thinking about tracking food and all of the likes, but it needs to be done to make sure at the start you are where you need to be. Number two, I added cardio into my week, more than I was doing anyway, which was none at the time, so this wasn't hard. Cardio obviously means that you are expending more energy, and this is needed in a calorie deficit. Number three, I cut out any off plan meals for the first 2 weeks, especially. I really wanted to make sure what I was doing was working before adding any back in. Now I probably have one off plan meal a week or every second week, just depending on how my progress is coming through. A new step target was brought in for me. Before it was probably about 8 to 10K, but now I make sure to aim for 10 to 12K. Your lifestyle and day to day activity is so important with what you do. I also made sure to have 3 to 4 main meals a day and not keep snacking on random things. And lastly, I looked at my water intake, my sleeping pattern, and my stress levels. These little simple elements behind the scenes that I made sure were all looking strong. These things are what got me started. And then as I kept going, I built upon them, creating such a strong routine that now 12 weeks later, I'm still enjoying it and building on everything without any issues and still seeing progress. There's no secret potion queens. It's just a matter of being consistent and trusting the process. And please, if you've ever any questions, always let me know. I absolutely love to help. For now, we have our routine in place in Bali with all of our new Gecko friends, but shortly we'll be changing things up again. I know, I'm not a fan of the chaos either, but it's all good changes that are happening. I do definitely see us back in Spain one day. It's where I do love, and I would probably see myself settling, or back home in Ireland at that. I'd never be able to settle too far from home and my friends and family. I don't think anyone ever actually talks about how hard that side of living away is. I miss every single one of my friends and family every single day. The moments I miss out on, the occasions, the events, and even just my nieces growing up. But it is the sacrifices that I made when I made this choice. But to anyone out there living abroad or away from friends and family like myself, I feel you and you got this. Because it's definitely painful at times when all you want is the comforts of home or you're missing out on things. But you made that choice to leave for a reason. Always remember that. I have honestly missed this so much, and I am so excited for season 2 with you all. Even more topics to delve into, some exciting guests to interrogate, of course. And as always, Queens, if there's any topics you'd enjoy or want to know more about, please let me know. Your opinions and voices matter more than you'll ever know. So, if you have gotten this far, thank you so much for tuning in today and listening. Just a little update and to keep you all in the loop. I appreciate you all so much, and I'm grateful every single day for this space we have together. And let me leave you with this: risk taking can be tough, especially when you're feeling comfortable and cozy. But a lot of the time, it's standing outside your comfort zone and pushing yourself that allows you to actually grow, that ignites the spark that you truly need to step into the next version and level of yourself. Staying comfy and cozy isn't going to get you anywhere or what you want to do in life. Whatever it might be, big, small, or in between, take the risk and believe in your decisions and choices. Trust it. And never forget, sometimes the biggest risk is taking no risk at all. You have absolutely got this. So if you feel stuck, if you feel the plateau, and if you feel like you're in a rut, please take action for yourself. You deserve it. And you deserve to create the version of yourself you wish to become. Oh, and always know this: if there is a day you just don't believe in yourself or quite feel like continuing, always remember I am over here rooting for you and I am over here believing in you.